now you can't talk again. 5, 6, hit it, he clap, now he can't walk again. All they finna say, shouldn't have spoke on him. Speak on 2 or 3 now, how about deeper than the deep end?
I still love you.
I stay out of the way, but speak on game, then we creeping. I pulled up with it.
All right, boys
and girls.
So today we're gonna be doing something a little different. I'm having my first few videos, so I'm dabbling in a little bit of every type of video possible. Today we're gonna be doing a gym video, and that's specifically what I'm going to be doing most in these videos. I'll be having fun,
having some silly moments
along the ways, and there will be some videos where me and the boys are
going a little crazy.
You know what I'm saying? The first place I want to go to is Long's.
These days, we at Long's Drugs think it's more important than ever to save you money.
Money! Money! Money!
Because I
am broke.
But in the best way possible.
I'm smart.
But also, instead of spending like $6 on an energy drink at the gym, I'd rather just go to a grocery store and go get the same exact drink for $2. Come on, you know, you gotta play these little games around, especially nowadays in this day and age, you know.
Very silly
ways of living to kind of cope with all of the inflation and all of that happening around me at all times.
I'm always conceding.
All right, guys, so
I'm gonna be showing off my car a little bit.
Love when it's a rainy day. It's one of my favorite times with that car, actually. Just
feel like Batman, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you one reason as to why you should not buy this drink right here. Don't be buying that, bruh. Anything for $2 for $4 nowadays is not good. Those energy drinks specifically use the surface layer of
sewage sludge.
Yeah, they're derivatives.
Funnily enough,
as a lot of the vitamins that they use are actually recycled through gray water and sewage. The more you know.
So, instead, get the real deal.
Let's do that. Or maybe even some Red Bull. Although original Red Bulls actually used bull semen. And that's what you got that extra kick from. Celsius is pretty bad too, but I would rather have
the bull semen
than the sewage sludge. So, all right. Let's open this up. What we are going to be doing is abs, just core, focused. That's what I do once a week.
And that's actually why I have abs.
All right, boys.
And girls.
So today I'm at Pacific Island Fitness. This is one of my most favorite gyms on island. They have all the old school equipment, they have all the new school equipment, and they even have more. They have several of the same type of machine too if you're not having a good feel with one of them, and that's actually why I've been going here the last 2 to 3 years. I'm focusing on core for a very long time. Really a lot more explosive, I find, feeling, and you really feel your core when you're doing these exercises. Instead of doing normal sit-ups, you go on a decline sit-up. So what you're doing is you're sitting on a chair at a slant, so that way you have more
radius,
more depth into your actual sit-up instead of just going into a 90-degree angle up and down. You can essentially do half of the actual amount of sit-ups you would normally do because you're actually going a little, maybe just even over double the average sit-up. So that's what I like to do for one. And I also really love to do things like the Roman chair, a lot of free weight. You use your core pulling your legs up. There's going to be a lot more things that I'm going to be showing you throughout this video, so
stay tuned.
This is also a vlog channel, but I'm also going to be having a lot of informational videos based on what I know. You don't have to necessarily take my words for granted, but you can probably learn something off of me. If you're trying to get somewhere and you haven't even started yet, just follow me and you'll know. So I actually like to do a very specific type of exercise before I start, and that is a drop set on this machine right here. And this machine is called the lunge. I start with max weight and I drop all the way down, and I start at this number right here. I like starting at max. You can start wherever you're at, and I drop usually 1 to 2 plates, and I do 10.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10 drop, 10 drop, 10 drop. That's all I do.
Really, nigga?
Next, I like to do obliques on this machine. It's a little weird, but it works, so don't judge me. I usually start with around 100, and then from 100, I do very slow reps, specifically for my obliques. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a crunch. Instead of doing a normal crunch, I'm doing a crunch sideways. And I do it for each side at the same pace and at the same weight so that it's all even. So that was actually just the warm-up. That's just to get us heated up.
Okay.
For that other exercise, start at whatever weight that you need to start with. Don't be too harsh on yourself. 170 pounds for me.
It's kind of heavy, but that's really heavy for some other people.
Start at your own pace. You'll slowly start increasing in weight.
Dude, you'll be cherry.
What we're gonna be doing next actually is the Roman chair. This thing right here. What I like to do on this is sit down crunches. So you dangle your legs completely down, and then you go ahead and lift your legs up as if you're gonna be sitting, but in that upright position that it's holding you up in. As you're doing these exercises, I want you to also keep in mind, the more tired you get, the slower your reps go. Make sure that they're slower because you want to maintain as much of that burn as possible. So, just did 10 of those. What I like to do, because I've been doing that for a very long time, since my core has gotten stronger, I can actually hold myself up while doing that. And that gives me more of a burn. And if you're capable of doing that, do as many of those as you can as well. What I like to do is I like to do 10 repetitions, and I like to do 8 sets. And then from there, then I move on to the next exercise. But the next exercise is still on this machine. Remember what I said now. 8 sets of 10. If you're not comfortable with doing it that way, do it the other way I showed you prior. Now that we're done with that, what I like to do is this next exercise on the same machine. And that exercise is a little harder, but because we already did our normal crunches, it's going to feel a little extra hard. And that's what we want. The longer the burn, the more you're actually giving focus to that area of the body that you want. So
That makes sense.
So the difference between the previous exercise and this one is my legs are going way higher. I'm throwing my ankles up in the air instead of throwing my knees up. You actually want to have the bottom of your torso line up with the bottom of where your feet are. Once they line up, then you go back down and that's your crunch. You do another 8 sets, 10. This is one of my favorite spots right here. I actually love this area specifically because of the scenery. As you can tell right behind me, this gym is located in a very nice place. Just to
Reiterate
this, if I haven't said it before, just because my video is showing me do it all right away, just remember you can take breaks in between sets. If you're feeling a little tired, if you're feeling overly exhausted, if you feel that if you keep doing more, it's going to ruin the rest of your exercise, stop for a good minute. Go take a sip of water and get back at it, because you're trying to gain hypertrophy here, but you're not trying to kill the very strength that you have right away. You're trying to have a slow, long-lasting burn, but you're not trying to immediately shut down everything right away. And that's powerlifting. Go ahead if you want to. If you want to listen to what I'm doing, if you want to have the same physique that I do, just do what I'm doing. That's all. I mean, everyone's body is different as well. You might have to adapt to certain things. Hell, maybe you have a lower metabolism. I have an insanely high metabolism. If you have a lower metabolism, you know, you're gonna have to do different things than I do when it comes to diet. Me personally, I'm supposed to be eating a lot. Just standing here talking to you guys and having a quick little recap before we get into our next exercise, which is going to be decline sit-ups. What I like to do with this next exercise is, personally, I like to hold a weight While I do my decline sit-ups, I'm switching it and interweaving 2 different exercises together with a plate, 45 pounds. You don't have to do that. Be really careful with the amount of weight that you're gonna be putting above your head, as you're gonna see in the next clip. Maybe start with a 5, maybe start with a 15. Start at your pace. Remember that this isn't ego lifting. If you sincerely wanna have a nice physique, if you sincerely wanna have a nice build, if you want to have a nice form during your exercises, if you want to have the maximum potential used, do it the right way. I like to do 4 sets of 10. What I like to do is I like to do 10 with a plate, 10 without. So you're gonna be repeating those 2 4 times each, and
That'll really get ya.
that's actually the final thing we will be doing. I hope you enjoyed those parts of my exercises, and that's pretty much what I do once a week, and that's how I keep my core going, and that's why I almost have damn near an 8-pack.
So,
Let me finish my exercise and I'll get right back to you guys. All right, boys, let's get the hell out of here. But check this out.
I used to be one of those kids that used to eat Takis, play Fortnite 24/7, GTA 5, whatever.
You can just get this. 19 grams of protein just from this bag of chips. You got that crunch. Personally, my favorite ones are the buffalo wings. It literally tastes like buffalo wings. And what they use with those is actual slices of chicken, and they turn them into a chip. Don't ask me how they did it, but man, I'm telling you, if you need protein and you want to eat your junk food, dude, so many alternatives. I'll see you guys at Panda. The reason why I love Panda Express specifically is because they load up your plate. I always pick white rice because it has higher amounts of carbohydrate, and I also just, whatever's on the menu that has the most protein I pick, and it happens to be this. And usually when I eat out, I go home, and after like 2 hours, I end up eating anyway.
Kind of just smash all sorts of stuff together.
Whatever it takes to get to that level of intake that I need. You have to be really consistent. The exercise I showed you, yeah, you'll feel probably a little shot for about a week, but then next week you got to do it again. The only way you're going to get rid of that horrible feeling in your gut every time you lift is if you're consistent, because you're desensitizing your body. You're going to make your body a lot stronger over time if you condition yourself properly. If you're going to start, you might as well keep going, right? Because then otherwise it's
All for nothing.
literally all for nothing. Sounds harsh, but that's the truth. That's the reality. We're locking back in. We're back in the game. You know, you can cheat a little. This is what I like to do. I like to put soy sauce in mine.
I love my shoyu, don't get me wrong. High sodium only.
High sodium only, bro.
Mopped.
Alright? Mopped. Straight mopped.
Mop, don't stop.
If you got extremely high metabolism, bruh, eat the freaking plate.
Finish your food, bruh.
What are you gonna waste? You gonna waste what? Cause you want bird. You want bird, what?
You want ghetto bird.
Don't do that, bruh. You like cheat, bruh. You're cheating yourself. Let's see what we got here.
Let's see if it means anything.
Give you. Your sense of humor is appreciated in all situations.
I hope so.
Just be you, bruh. Alright, guys. I really genuinely hope you guys enjoyed this video. There will be way more to come. This is one of many types of videos I'm going to be doing. So stay tuned. Peace.
Mop, don't